Okay. So this is the portion of the speeches where we, after everyone has given their speech, we ask them questions, and this was actually kind of like something that apparently Randall and John had started. They stood up and people just naturally asked them questions, and so we want to kind of follow that example. And so I'll start it off with two questions. Janelle, first, we'll go with you. You had spoken a lot in your speech about how you would think it'd be great to do this and that, like the sports day and everything. But how would you go about doing it? You talk about a lot of big goals, big dreams. So how would you go about executing, like you said in your speech?
Okay, since you specifically asked for sports day, I know if something is set in stone and it happens every week, then people will know. Like, there's a meeting Wednesday at 5. Everyone goes to it. So if there's a sports day at Friday at 5, then people will know and they won't forget. So that will incorporate, instead of spontaneously, on Thursday we're going to do sports day. No, if it's every week and it doesn't change, then people won't forget and people will come out. And if we show, I don't think it's going to be hard to get people to come out, especially if it's a good day and a good time. Due to just because from our past sports days, people enjoy it. People come out and they have fun with it. So I wouldn't just make it, if people don't want sports day, then we won't have sports day. If no one, why keep it if no one wants it? But if people enjoy it, then why not have it? Other goals? What are the goals? Okay, Pinoy Fest. Like I said, I hosted a home drum meet at my high school. It's not a small event. It's a really big event. So I think I have a lot of leadership skills, and if you have the right staff and the right delegation, you can get stuff done. All it requires is time and effort, and then you can pretty much have anything happen. I don't know anything else, but yeah.
Okay. And then Kathleen, I have a question. In your speech, and just from personal experience of knowing you, you're a very organized person, and working closely with Randall and myself. What improvements could you do in terms of being a president? In terms of, I don't know, there's been a lot of stress on some positions, and I just want to kind of clarify that. There are some positions that are important, but equally though, all positions are important. And if you have a president who could correlate efficiently all these positions, it can make it into something bigger and better. And my question to you, Kathleen, is how would you approach that? In terms of, or is there any improvements, and if there are improvements, how would you go about improving?
Will I want improvements? Is that what you're asking me?
Or no, is there improvements? And if there are improvements, in terms of the system, you've been with us for the past 2 years.
Right.
So what would you do if you were president in terms of changing the way things are done?
Well, I actually, last year, Josh met with the officers I think it was every week. And this year it's been kind of, the officer meetings have been a little sporadic, kind of late, we were told very late. So I think having a regular officer meeting each week, maybe every other week, at a time before the meeting when we know that everyone will be available unlike a weekend where people could be working. I think having the officers organized and just keeping everyone up to date personally, because I as secretary, I send the email out every Sunday night to all the officers, and it's just a draft, and I leave it open for any changes, and I do get emails back every now and then of mistakes or whatever, but usually I don't. And I think sitting down with the officers each week or every other week, like I said, and having an officer meeting in person, then that would help a lot with organization, just and knowing what's going on this week, what events we have in the future, not just reading it off the email, as we do pretty much every week now.
Okay, and so with my two questions answered, is there anybody that would like to ask a question to one of the two candidates? Don't be shy. If you, any questions at all? Yes or yes?
Shoot him. I have a question.
Go, Gavin, go.
Okay.
And is it directed at the swimming candidates?
What?
Is it directed at both, or is it directed
No, just one.
Okay.
Okay, Kathleen, you said that you taught, you were wanting to go back to what, Josh and stuff did. What exactly did Josh used to do?
Well, Josh, actually, I sat in as his auditing, he asked me nicely. I sat in one of the officer meetings, and I have to say, I think the officer meeting lasted probably like 3 hours. Like, it probably lasted like 3 hours. There was a lot of debate going on about a lot of the events. I think it'd be a lot more efficient if, I guess, a 3-hour meeting, 3-hour officer meeting is efficient, but it's a little unnecessary, honestly. Probably like an hour officer meeting, but so they met, I think, every week. I think the officers met like every week, and they had that meeting, and they talked over everything. And I think they met after the officer meetings. This year, officer meetings have been, I think, usually on Sunday nights. And I usually work on weekends, so some of them I haven't been able to make. But yeah, definitely during the week. And I'd have to get everyone's schedules. And you guys actually making your schedules in the fall, you should keep in mind that the chance that FSA meetings will be on Wednesday nights is probably high. But I'll go according to your schedule. So, but
Okay.
yeah.
I have a question. I asked Kathleen because you were there the first year also. I remember, like, I think we did not more things the first year of FSA, but we kind of did. That sounds bad. I meant like you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, we just did more things during the meetings after we talked about what's gonna happen.
Right.
What would you incorporate that we didn't incorporate this year?
Actually, I think that I'm definitely going to have a wider variety of Filipino food. Sean and Randall have given us next year a good budget. And I talked to my mom about it already, but I think it'd be awesome for one if we were able to like cook during the meeting. But yeah, even if I gave my mom like $10 to buy ingredients, we'd have like Filipino food, like different Filipino food like every week instead of like pizza.
That's good.
Yeah. But yeah, so I want you guys to taste Filipino food, not just lumpia.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Filipino food. I actually think it's actually I won't even say it, never mind. So
Okay.
yeah, next question.
Any other questions? Yes,
I have a quote.
okay, go for it.
How do you want to expand and include everybody? Like expand FSA and then include everybody?
Is that both to both or?
Yeah, it's both.
Okay. Go since Kathleen's been on.
Okay, to expand, I've already started working, even if I don't become president or vice president, to get into orientation. So, because every student has to go through orientation. So I want to get into orientation and promote FSA so people, like, I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a part where they talk about study abroad and different clubs on campus. I want to be one of those clubs. So we have like representative there, and so every student who enters to come to UW, they have to at least know about FSA. That's how to make expand our number. That's just one of the ideas that I thought, and I'm actually working. I already have got the email of the head, student over orientation, but I'm just talking that What was the other part of your question? Was that to grow numbers?
Include. Expand and include.
Oh, and include. Okay. Including everybody is really hard. You could try, but it really depends on the person. Like, the only way, I guess, is to try not to make people feel left out. Like, we are kind of cliquish in a way, where after the meetings, the normal people will leave, and then the people who know that something's going to happen afterwards stay. And then we are like, okay, let's go eat. Where the other people who don't know that, they leave. So I wanted to, if there's something going to happen, I want everyone to know about it. Instead of just the few people that normally hang out. Include everyone, don't have them left out. Like I said, it's hard to include everyone. It's really up to the person if they're willing to stay or not. But just don't, have everyone know about events instead of just, the few people that hang out.
That was very thorough. And I was going to say the same thing, actually. I think at orientation, they're given folders with, flyers from different organizations. And I think that we could get with the creative director and just create, a really awesome flyer that encompasses all the things that FSA stands for. And I think the beginning of the year that is when people are looking most to join clubs, so we definitely be really active in the beginning. During the orientation in the summer, We can have people at the orientation, like Janelle said, and have recruitment booths. And a lot of people like food, so we can have food at our booths, no charge, things like that. So, yeah. And then, like, the other part of your question, just keeping everyone in the club. It is difficult to work around other people's schedules, but we'll try to have events told, like, way in advance. And it's a lot easier now because we've had 2 years experience, just knowing what events are coming when, and knowing how successful they've been in the past. So